Hi guys, it's SkintBoot here, and today what I'm going to be bringing you guys is a No Man's Sky video. And in today's video, once again, I'm going to be bringing you a very heavy speculation video, but this time focusing entirely on that weird little bright portal circular thing which we saw in the Beyond trailer. Now, I am aware that I have already briefly touched on what I think that this portal might allude to or how it might change the game, but I feel like I haven't actually looked into this in enough depth to actually make it seem somewhat coherent. I feel like I've only lightly commented on it, and as such should dedicate a whole video to a few theories that are some in part mine and some in part the community's as to what the fuck these portals are all about. As I said, this is a speculation video, so don't expect much of what is said to hold a great deal of truth in the long run, as, you know, we don't know shit. We are just speculating, and that is the point of this video. But with all of that said and done, please do sit back and relax. Let's get started. Okay, so in case for whatever reason you are out the loop of what the fuck is going on, the recent reveal trailer for the Beyond update allows us to see this strange new location which almost resembles a space station or an Atlas station, and it has this massive circular ball of light right at the end. This is where the camera flies into it. It seems to be a focal point of the teaser trailer, and this is what we're going to be looking at today. What is this? What could this mean for No Man's Sky? Is this a multiplayer thing? Is this something completely unrelated? Truth be told, we don't know, but here we are going to try and find out what this is all about. So the two main theories which I have already touched on are intergalactic travel and multiplayer travel of some sort of gateway into multiplayer. Now, I want to start off this video by explaining my reasoning for these theories a little better, because I don't feel like I got into the specifics before and actually, you know, put some thought into it as such. So first up is intergalactic travel. Now, there are many different reasons for this being a fairly popular theory at this point in time, which a load of people are leaning on and a load of people are considering. So first of all, intergalactic travel refers to simply traveling between galaxies. In No Man's Sky, the only way you can get to a new galaxy is by getting to the center of the galaxy. It then pans out and you start it all over again, but in a different galaxy. Now, some absolute sweaty bastards out there have actually managed to complete every single galaxy, and once this is all done, you restart at the first galaxy, which is kind of a kick in the nuts, but hey ho, that's not for today's video. But the point being is that this intergalactic travel doesn't really work. It always goes forward. It exists for the purpose of forwarding gameplay, but in terms of exploration or considering base building or something like that, it is just not a working system. The biggest reason is that you cannot physically go back to a galaxy. Now, this is from my own knowledge, and I may be a little bit incorrect here, but from what I've heard from comments and people in the community talking, once you pass through a galaxy and you reach the core, there is no way of getting back to it unless you manage to do all of them, start fresh, and then work your way up to it. Because of this, a lot of people are frustrated that they can't go back to their, say, home galaxy, or, you know, they can't go back to a base or the specific planet which they have built. And this is where this big ass portal comes into play. This is why people are thinking that this portal is going to solve that exact problem. It's going to be essentially a portal, as I said, that allows travel, but instead of just between planets, it's between galaxies. How this works is a bit of a mystery to me. I'm assuming that it's going to be just a way of you going through galaxies, so maybe there's going to be their own version of coordinates that you'll have to input into it, and then it will take you back to a galaxy of your choice. But most importantly, this could explain why this portal is so much bigger than the ones which we see on planets. It is essentially the perfect size to fly a ship through. I mean, it's clearly massive, and the area in which this portal is sat is also massive, implying that you are going to be flying here and not walking here. So this would solve the galaxy problem in its entirety if you could simply input a few coordinates or glyphs, and there you go, bang, bang, you're back in your first galaxy. It would make traveling a hell of a lot more fluid and actually doable. Okay, so the second theory is that this portal is some kind of multiplayer gateway. This is something which I have spoken about in recent videos, and it's something which I'm leaning towards a lot more, and I like to think that this is tied in heavily with multiplayer. This is assuming that multiplayer is vastly different to the base game, perhaps so different it requires a different entrance to enter a multiplayer version of No Man's Sky. As I have said so many times before, I do believe that No Man's Sky Online is going to be separated from the main game. I'm not talking like a physical disc or a DLC. I'm saying that there will be basically a new game mode that will be No Man's Sky Online. This means that people can play No Man's Sky single player if they want without all of the new additions, but if they want that sort of MMO-esque style gameplay, then they can hop into the multiplayer version of the game. And I believe that this portal will serve this exact point. As I've said, it may be some kind of matchmaking hub. This will be probably a multiplayer space where, you know, people would gather, set up factions and stuff like that. And maybe this is a place where you and your friends walk into this portal and you enter an instance. This would explain why this new location exists. It is a place to organize multiplayer play, like a hub of sorts, which I've mentioned so many goddamn times. Maybe this is all an overhaul of the main menu joining that exists currently. No Man's Sky Online is perceived to be a big as overhaul, but that doesn't mean they're just going to be overhauling the gameplay. Maybe the user interface and how you actually join people's games will be amended. Instead of not being in the game and inviting people in a little static lobby on the main menu, maybe this portal is a location where you invite friends, or alternatively step into the multiplayer version of No Man's Sky. So, touching on some new theories now which I haven't spoken about before, this portal could actually do something with story. Maybe this could be a new story related point of interest, or alternatively a whole new multiplayer focused story. Perhaps this MMO-esque style multiplayer will have a whole separate story which your friends will work towards. You know, party up with 4 or 5 people and you have all new quests to do, you have a new goal to work towards, and these quests are actually created to be done with multiple different people. It would actually allow for you to do the story that isn't the single player story, which I won't lie, isn't really built around multiplayer. It would kind of allow for Hello Games to make some missions that maybe you need to rely on your friends for. So this location may simply tie into a part of the story. But one thing which I do want to mention is that I think it is extremely likely that No Man's Sky Online will have its own story. There are a number of different reasons why I think this, but first and foremost is the simple fact that Beyond is gassed up to be the huge multiplayer overhaul, or at least one part of the update that is going to make No Man's Sky Online, or just No Man's Sky multiplayer in general, a load better. And one of the things which I assume would come with a multiplayer overhaul would be a brand new story, something to work towards, a bit more gameplay with your friends that you haven't seen elsewhere. I don't know if this story would be exclusive to multiplayer, maybe there's an option to play it in single player, but I'm not ruling it out. More story content is always welcome, and I think it would fit nicely into Beyond. Now, last of all, I want to talk about another new theory which a lot of people are again talking about, and that is that this location where this portal is some sort of purchasable space station which you can own. I've seen a lot of people begin talking about this, and buying space stations or Atlas stations and, you know, running them and renovating them and doing whatever the fuck you want to do with them is a theory which a lot of people have had for a very long time. It's a massive community ask, and I can see why, to be honest. It would remove that awful problem of all space stations just looking identical. So maybe this is actually a custom space station that has been bought, renovated and designed in this player's own wishes. This is one of the theories that make the least amount of sense, mainly because there is absolutely zero evidence to support this, other than the fact that there is, you know, just a slightly different design. Do I think that this is likely? I mean, there's a chance, but I don't necessarily see why this location would be a, you know, a new space, a space station which you can overhaul. I don't see how this would fit into it, and most importantly, why this would be featured in a trailer. Surely that would just be one of the smaller additions that Hello Games don't particularly like to show off. The only reason why I think that this theory can make a load more sense is that this portal may be the entrance into the space station. Why the camera flies into it and not out of it though is anyone's question, but there is a chance that this may be the gateway for other real multiplayer players to enter your space station. It's probably one of the weakest theories out there, but I feel like I have to touch on it because I know a lot of people are starting to lean towards it. But guys, I think that is just about all I have to say for this video, but as always, please do feel free to put your own theories in the comment section of the video. I love hearing what all you guys think about this matter, especially since this is something which we won't know the answer to for a very long time, so please do let me know. But guys, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then please do feel free to leave a like on it, and if you guys could also subscribe to MZK, then that'd be absolutely fantastic. And as always, I will see you guys on my next video. This is SkintBoot, signing out.